Can we talk about that?
Fucking horse.
What are you doing back there? We're waiting to start episode 30.
We've started.
Disrespecting the listener time.
All right, well, I'll pull one out.
Episode 30.
Episode 30. Fishy B, come on.
Steph Curry, number 30.
You have a JD and Dr. Pepper.
We need to
JDDP.
ask him what about number 30 before you start.
Oh, yeah, we didn't.
I don't have any.
Anything?
I've got only uninteresting things like Steph Curry, number 30.
That's his number, yeah.
that's
That's perfect.
boring.
Steph Curry, number 30. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
JD, Dr. Pepper.
Greatest three-point
JD.
shooter of all time.
JDDP.
Now, the one on the back of this we've already asked is Breakfast Radio dead? So we kind of said...
Have we?
Yeah, we've talked about
Well,
that.
we just talk about the songs and the music and the bloody ads.
Yeah, and
How
so
that sucks. And
This is repeated
Yes,
content.
so we're not going to do that. With this
I'm
one...
glad you brought it up.
So the Fishy Bee's full of questions. We don't know which we're going to pull out, and this is
Pull
how
out.
it rolls. Is it? Oh, you done half and half. There you go.
Oh, you
Stablemate.
poured it
That's how
correctly.
you pour it.
This is how you do it. Yeah, you go.
All right. What is your first sporting moment memory?
I remember one. Stablemate Twig was involved.
Yeah.
He's alive
Shane.
and well.
Yeah, love one.
Yep, comes up a bit
Is
on
Twig
this body.
listen? He's a regular listener.
No, he's never listened.
No, he has, hasn't he?
No, I don't know. I think he's fucked us off. I think he hears enough of our shit.
He's heard all this shit anyway. It was like just at the office. Oh, what do you reckon about bloody if you had a golf club and you could only swing close to the hole?
I reckon Twig's listening. I want to say, g'day, Twig. Hope you're well, mate.
My first sporting one is with Twig
Right.
because I moved to Brisbane when I was 5 or 6, something
Yep.
like that, from Rocky, a house, and we moved into a house that happened to be next door to this random person.
How
at
come
that
you
time.
moved from Rocky to Brisbane? Was it a
My
work
dad just
thing?
got a job. Yeah, different,
Okay.
some job
Yep.
situation. And we moved in next to this family, which happened to be Twig's family. So
Right.
he was my age, and
Yep.
we, play up front and that. And we went down to soccer that year, I think. I know what you're talking. I know what story you're thinking about. We can't talk about that.
Move on.
Oh, can you beep that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
This is all one big beep.
It was Denny F.
Episode 30, off to a flyer.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
We are back.
we are back.
Start again?
I think
No, this is
Ben,
great.
hopefully, if you're listening to this, there was that big beep of, when there's a break in transmission
Oh yeah. Yep.
thing. Hopefully you did that sound effect and we're back from that. Yeah.
One moment later.
Yeah. So we're back.
Back, yes.
The sound effect probably just happened because some terrible things were said. Anyway, Shane.
Anyway, yeah.
Me and Twig. So when I moved in, made friends with him, and then
Soccer.
my parents took me and his parents took him down to soccer under 5s. I think it was under 5s that time, under 6, something like that. And there was a guy who didn't speak English that well. It was kind of like European sort of
Right.
accent. I don't know what, but he was a very strict soccer coach.
He was the coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And Shane probably lasted about 5 minutes and left crying for his mum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I think I lasted another 10 minutes, and then same thing for me. It was like, no,
Because he was so strict.
yeah, just we weren't ready for it. Anyway,
Ah,
then the next year we came back. We had a good coach, and rest is history.
makes a difference,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
professional soccer player. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been paid.
Probably not that age.
No, you have never been paid.
No, definitely not a
that you
professional
don't
soccer.
think you've ever been paid.
I'm just trying to think if any.
Oh, I thought you
time-
meant the coach.
No, if I don't think there's any loophole that I could even say that.
Did you get a free beer?
We got. No, we just had to pay for that.
Did you have? Did you ever sign a contract?
No.
He had to pay to play. He had
Definitely
to pay his fees.
pay the fees. I got a discount recently because I did some help with their website.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, professional player. That's it. We found the loophole. It's like soaking. Yes. Mine, I guess, is footy. I think I was 6 playing under 9s. And they, you know,
You were 6 playing in under 9s.
yeah, because they never had under 6s, 7s, or
Jeez.
8s back then. Yeah. And
get
this
crushed?
kid, oh yeah, but my first memory of it was we had a red Datsun 180B or 221 180B, I think, and there was other people that had kids playing footy that had other Datsuns. It must have been in the car, and they were all red, and all the parents and all
Can we
the
get
other
a
kids.
Datsun? When I met him. Yeah.
Bluebird.
Yeah, it's a Datsun Bluebird.
remember
That's
the
right,
Bluebird.
Yeah.
We had one. My dad crashed it. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, anyway, so they were all parked against the fence, and we were out on the field, and this big kid was running at me, and I'm like, I had to tackle him, and it was like my first tackle, whatever. And I remember my knees were shaking, and I was like, and I closed my eyes, and he tried to run over the top of me, and I actually fell backwards and hung on, and I tackled him. And everyone in all the cars was jumping up and down, cheering and beeping the horn.
Yeah,
and all
nice.
that kind of stuff. So it was really cool. So it was like a really cool memory of like, oh. But I was shitting myself. I was like, this kid's huge. But he must have, I don't know if he felt sorry for me and fell over the top of me. But yeah, it was my first tackle ever in footy. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Mine was golf clubs have club championships,
Yep.
and they break it up into grades. So there's the club champion, which is A grade golfers. So the club we used to play at, my brother won club championships there 3 or 4 years. He's fucking good. I won B grade club championships, which is based on handicap. So
Yep.
at the time my handicap was like 13 or something. I'm going to have a crack at it this year, though. I want to try and win the club championships out there this year.
Brilliant.
But
He hasn't won it yet.
no,
No,
yeah, I'm going to have a go.
brilliant. It's brilliant the fact that you're going to have a crack.
Well, I'm playing off 6 now, so I'm in that A grade zone. But there are some good golfers out there, so I've got to string 4 rounds together. But when I was young, they used to have Pee-wee club championships as well, which was the real young kids learning. And it was over 2 rounds. And after 2 rounds, I was tied with another kid for the leader.
First,
so we went
yeah.
on to a playoff.
Yeah.
And it was cool
Pee-wee
because we were real young kids, and all the adults from the club started taking an interest. So we went down
Coming
the
out.
first playoff hole, and they all followed us down the hole, and
Yeah,
there was
cool.
a big crowd. It
That's
was kind of
excellent.
like, the PGA where there's
Yeah.
a crowd, a gallery watching.
Yeah.
So we went down the first playoff hole, and this kid I was playing against made a birdie, and I had like a...
Well, on a real hole.
we were okay.
I don't get that many birdies.
Yeah,
How
anyway,
old was he?
we're just good. But I had like a 15-metre putt and to tie the first
tie.
playoff hole.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, the other kids won it. But I binned this 15-metre birdie
yeah.
putt, and the whole crowd, I just remember the whole crowd going
Yeah.
up, and it was so fucking awesome.
That's
to have a
awesome.
crowd watching you and to have that moment.
Yeah.
And then on the second playoff hole, I absolutely fucked it and lost it.
Did ya?
But I'll never forget that first moment.
That feeling, yeah.
And then I was gutted after the second playoff hole, and I was fucking crying and shit. My brother had to come and go.
Little baby.
Like, I was in the bunker, and this kid had knocked it fucking stiff, and like he was going to go birdie, and we're like 10.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
my
that's
brother, I
good,
just
though.
remember my brother going, "You fucked it. You've got to chip it in from the bunker now, or you're cooked." Oh, you asshole! But yeah, that's my first memory.
Yeah. Ben, you got...
Yeah, I used to play squash when I was a kid, a lot. Legit, yeah, squash is good. It's like, how can we... What's less manly than tennis? Oh, let's do it inside a room.
That being said, it is fucking brutal.
It's-
Like, you got to be fit as fuck to play
Yeah.
squash.
Yeah.
So I used to play Redcliffe, I think it was. Yeah, and did pretty good. And then I went back, like when I was like 25, something. I got this in the bag, and went to like a social competition.
Yep.
And they paired me up with this like 80-year-old guy. I thought, I'm gonna smoke this guy. No, he absolutely destroyed me. And then after my car, I went home. Yeah,
Not doing that again.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a young person's sport.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Out of Fishy B. This could be anything.
Pushy boy.
Well, this will be interesting. It must have been a late night
There's
one.
quite a
This
silence.
pause.
one. Yes. This,
You flipped it over to see if there's a better option.
What does it say? If you're not happy with it, then we got a real
I'm
fucking
just
problem.
thinking ahead of the thing. How do you like to receive care?
Is that the question?
What the fuck does that mean?
How do you like to receive care?
Like if you're, say if you like a massage or a.
Definitely massage. I like
What kind
it.
of care? What do you mean? Care?
Well, if you're sick, like, do
I
you
like
want
it.
people?
like
If I'm
being
sick, I want people to leave me alone.
I like
I'm
to be in
I'll
bed
be right. Now, fuck
and
off.
like in bed and just food brought bell maybe and like
yeah.
a bell maybe.
A bell, yes.
And I just got an excuse to watch TV. Dad can't help. So out of Dad's room, he's just had
The
his nuts
feather.
chopped off for whatever I had done. No, it wasn't. The vasectomy, whatever.
You didn't
wasn't-
have your nuts chopped
They're
off.
still there. Whatever the tube is. He's just had the
was Teddy.
urethra tube. Oh, not that one. He's just had the what's the name? The fallopian. The male version of the fallopian chopped. Kids,
The vas deferens.
get out of there.
Get out of here.
He needs to watch TV.
Yep.
And we need to bring him his soup.
Yep.
And then he just wants a bourbon and coke, and he's set. Okay,
And
he's
frozen
watching Happy
peas.
Gilmore. All right.
Fucking hell.
What about you?
Well, I just had COVID and I was fucking crook.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm the same as you. I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So the big thing for me is if the kids are just dealt with and taken away, where I can't hear it, I can't fucking be drawn into it.
Can't hear
It's
her struggling with them.
Yeah,
Keep it down.
it's just it's permission for me. It's permission to let go. Because anytime the kids are arcing up or something, I'll jump up and go and help and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just permission to do fuck all. I'll give you another one though. If I've overeaten or like if I'm like just feeling bloated or anything like that, I like to lie down and lift my shirt up and just get Tash to rub my belly. I like it.
Oh, the Buddha. Lucky Buddha.
And she does it. And she'll do it.
Just rub my belly.
Does she do it? Does she do it? Yeah, she'll do it. Oh, I gotta text her right now. Stop doing that. That's enabling.
I was like, can you just rub my belly? Just rub it. It feels really good.
Yeah.
Have you ever had it?
Should
we do it now?
All right, come over here. Come on.
Put it away.
Yeah, I don't like being fussed over. It's like, oh, can I do that? Can I? Not that I have anyone with me at the moment to do it, but it's just kind of like, oh no, I'll be fine. Just let me be. Yeah.
I reckon aircon is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
cold. Like it sounds counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
if you're feeling sick, the colder the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
under Duna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Shower and aircon.
I'd love to just watch a whole
I-
test match once. I'd just like to do
Oh,
that.
well, when I had COVID, one day,
Like with a nappy on,
oh,
esky. Just
I will
yeah.
say this. For the first time in my entire life, when I had COVID last week, there was such thing for the first time in my life as too much sport. So I woke up.
Oh.
I woke up at 6 a.m. I watched golf from
oh, yeah.
6 till 9:30.
Yeah.
Then I watched the NBA from 9:30 till 1:30,
Yeah.
and then I watched the AFL from 1:30 till 9:30. So
Oh.
I watched sport non-stop without a fucking break from 6 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. And by the end of that, I was like, okay,
That's enough.
that's too much sport.
Yeah.
That was way too much.
Especially without beer. You had no
I
beer.
didn't have a beer for fucking 10 days. Which, if
You made up for it though.
I
Jesus
made up for it
Christ.
on Saturday night. I had a few.
All right. What's one thing that bothers you most about the world today? Like media,
I think
fake news.
I'm going
stuff.
towards that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Media, fake news, but more so that people
Yeah.
buy into it
Believe it.
and believe it and buy into it and
Yeah.
can't see for what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we all get fooled by things anyway that we don't realize, but like, yeah, I don't want to give up social media because I like being able to get information, but I don't know that that's fantastic. The way the result, that
yeah.
aspect of it,
Yeah.
where people get together and it just exacerbates crazy ideas. Like conspiracy theories are up because
Yeah.
people can get together and Google shit and
But on-
just for the answer that they want.
But
and
on top of that, because of the reach that social media has given, the way that news is presented has to be presented in the extreme.
Exactly,
Like clickbait, all that kind of stuff. It has to be presented in the extreme because they're
metrics.
they're rewarded
Yeah, that's
over the clicks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a
So
good point.
everything
Yeah.
is just extremes.
Yeah.
And if you look at news.com.au or something like that, every single headline now, you can pick the word that is the extreme word they've used to try and draw you in.
Yeah.
And it'll be like such and such a star's X-rated comment, and then you go into it, and it's not X-rated.
Yeah.
They just said arse.
Yeah,
or
or-
something like that.
or
They said
be,
arse on the news. or-
such and such is devastating reason that they're
Devastating
not-
is the word
and,
in that one.
Yeah, and it'll be
Devastating.
like, oh, they had the cold, so they couldn't do this.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, but
but
the
it's-
word devastating is used in that example.
But we perpetuate it as well. Like I find it interesting to click just to see how they've managed to spin it, and that's registered as a click.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
oh, I'll read the comments just to see the how
What-
both sides are having a crack at it. But
Yeah.
it's yeah,
Similarly to this, taking a step back from the news aspect, for me, it's the hypercritical way that society works now that I can't handle. And I've read these articles where they're talking about that the next generation that comes through is going to correct this, but we're just
political
so
correctness stuff.
yeah,
Like
the political correctness, just it just feels like every aspect of our lives now, everything is just hypercritical of you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't do, like you're going to
Yeah.
upset.
You just
got to
get into the Trump
this.
zone where like those celebrities, some of them, like Warney was a bit in this zone as well.
Yeah.
Where it's just like he was above it. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know, I blacked out. I had I was in a hotel room, a couple of girls, but yeah, still got 5 wickets.
got me five. Got me five. Smoke. I can't handle. We're at that point now where you feel like everything you put on social media or everything you say in a public forum, except for this podcast, you're going to be scrutinised and you're going to potentially offend someone.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's no leeway anymore. Just a bit of fucking leeway of, well, he didn't mean that. He wasn't trying to offend that person. It was
Where does it leave comedy? Like, does a comedian get special privileges and they can talk about those taboo things still? Like,
I've
Well, I
always
think-
been a
not
true
not
believer.
us, like actual professional comedians.
I've always been a true believer that it was a comedian's job to find that line
yeah.
and to take it just past that.
Yeah.
That's their job.
But do you reckon the comedians now, like I'm thinking Jim Jeffries and stuff, have they actually got more extreme? Because it's so, everything they
has
say
to.
is so shocking
yeah.
now and it's so funny
Yeah.
that you can go there and they're saying all this stuff that no one's been able to say, but he's saying it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's certain ones that have crossed over that all the newer ones like the Kill Tony, all those guys that go on those things.
Yeah.
Cam Patterson, Tom Segura, they can just say anything they want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's because they own all their own stuff now. So basically, Tom Segura owns his own podcast. He can't get cancelled.
So he can't get kicked off the Today Show or the
off the
Late
network
Show
or whatever. Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah,
he runs his
Yeah.
own network. So basically, the worst that can happen is YouTube can stop monetizing him, but
Yep.
he'll find an audience. He'll find a platform
Yeah.
somewhere else
Yeah,
because
that's
he's got
true.
such a big audience.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is another one that I can't get on board with. Like, I know that there's stuff from the past that was done where we're shining a light on it now and learning from it and all that.
Yeah.
But, like, if you go and watch... Like, my kids have just started watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in that where the old couple in that show terrified of gay people, and there's a lot of jokes in that kind of realm. And
Yeah.
even Friends, like Friends does not stack up these days. I can't get on board with people being
held to today's
held
standards.
to today's standards and persecuted for what they did 15, 20 years ago
Yeah.
based on today's standards.
I think Jim Jeffries talks about that, doesn't he, in one of his stand-up
Yeah.
Oh, there's some stuff that happened years ago that was bad by those standards.
Yeah, but if it was bad by those
like
standards,
the
back
Cosby
then-
stuff and stuff, like he did crimes back
Yeah.
then, which were actual crimes back then.
That- yeah, that's
so
awful.
he's gone.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it was something that was socially,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you saying?
I feel like there's too much of a microscope these days, and we've gone too far with it.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's got to be backed off because it's just, if it keeps going the way it's going, it's going to be fucked. You won't be able to say fucking anything.
Yeah.
And I say a lot of things.
Yes.
One of my better than Branson ideas, which I don't know if we've talked about, so I'll repeat it kind of, or if I got on my list, I don't know. But what do you think about a news outlet website that its whole thing was real news? Like, it's boring, it's not extreme, it's the actual thing that happened. Piggyback on real stories like Meghan and Harry. Harry's probably fine. He something.
Yeah,
Like,
he wasn't fucking those hookers. He was just,
No adjectives.
He was
No
doing
adjectives.
charity work.
yeah. But just the real, but maybe not so much jokey like that. Yes, there'd be some articles which are debunking the extreme articles, but it'd be just real news, like
Yeah.
that it has no, like, its whole agenda, the whole publication's agenda
I like it.
is to be as balanced as possible.
Yeah.
No
No one to watch it.
And but the metric is not about, it's got to be rewarded not based on clickbait and metrics. So I don't know how to solve that part of it.
I would watch it. Like I would read it. Like
Yeah.
every day, like when I get up, the first thing I do is take a shit and look at the news. And I would look at that instead of news.com.au. I just want the real, I just want to open it up and just find out what's happening in the world. And if I know that I'm not going to get absolutely hammered with clickbait shit,
And
I'd much prefer it.
I reckon if the advertising model, like, you could either go subscription model, which I don't think is the right choice, because it is hard to get people to get their wallets out. But there's an advertising model which isn't. Have you tried to read a bloody news article on your phone? Like, you've got about 2 centimeters of screen real estate
And
to
then you
read
get
the
a-
article, because there's a pop up, there's a pop down, there's a
Yeah.
pop across.
Everything, yeah.
There's this tiny little square that you can scroll in. Does that happen to you?
Yeah.
In that, just trying to read the article in that little window.
One
I'll tell you-
letter at a time.
I'll tell you the other change that you'll get from that is you open up news.com.au when you're on the shitter and there's 10 articles on the homepage, right? The comparison between that and what would be on your website, I reckon 4 articles that are on that would make your website, because the other 4 would be, okay, we'll strip out maths. No one gives a fucking shit about maths.
Yeah.
Strip that out. Or Kim Kardashian wore a fucking G-string to the beach. Take that out.
Yeah, I'll watch
That's
that
not
later.
real news.
I'll watch it later. Yeah. Save.
It's a tab there.
A second. But the homepage would look very different. It's not just Kyle Sanderland said fuck on the air.
Yeah.
Like that's not making it. It's just the important shit.
And I think they could do a really good job of the advertising. Like, I would tell it. I know that we've covered this before about all the privacy stuff. Facebook can't tell, like, Apple's blocked all this shit, so they can't tell what I'm interested in. I'll tell this website everything I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I want to hear about sport. I want to hear about this drumming, Pearl Jam. I'm keen on that,
Yeah.
and be advertised to on those things. I'll buy some of that shit.
Scoot and I talk about that a bit. You know, when you download a new app or, like, I don't know, social media or something where you've got to answer the question, do you want it to track what you do on other sites and that?
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
that's just saying, do you want us to read who you are and provide you with content that's relevant to you? Why would you ever say no to that?
Yeah.
I want ads. Like, if you're going to get ads...
You're gonna get ads
wouldn't
anyway.
you prefer they were relevant to
Yeah.
you?
Fucking oath.
I
Yeah.
don't want ads for... I don't know, tampons or anything like that. Like, give me ads. Like, 'cause that's not relevant to me. I don't need tampons.
Oh, you might.
I mean, aren't they good for blood nose? Good for shove up
Yeah.
your nostril if you get a blood nose.
They are. Yeah.
But I want an ad for...
No strings attached.
Shove up your nose and rub your belly.
one of my favourites so far.
Oh, great. One thing I'm hating about the world at the moment is fucking rent rises.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Mine's gone up again, another $60 a week. And I've tried to talk to them about it and said, look, I'm a single dad, I'm running my own business. It's just
Yep.
40 grand a year
That's
For-
fucking ridiculous.
on my own.
Yep.
Then that's, and then my bass is high. So before I even buy food, I'm up to 65, 70 grand.
Yeah.
Before I buy food.
Yeah.
Cost of living's out of
Like,
control.
it's really,
Plus you live.
yeah. But I haven't told the daughters yet, but I just said, look, I'll handle it. I'll get on top of it. And,
Yeah.
everything always works out.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it.
You heard back from them? Like, after you said,
I
you
said,
asked the question?
I tried to knock it down a bit, and they've just sent me a text about 5 minutes ago. That's what just reminded me. So I'll see what they've come in.
Have you read that or not?
No, I don't want to. So I want to stay in this mood. I don't want to tear the fucking studio down. So,
It's just a GIF.
Right. Yeah, what's that?
It's just a GIF like this.
Yeah.
Even cost of living wise, again, you got to blame the media a little bit, but all year they've been talking about home loan rate rise will stop in June, and they're going to be decreasing it. And then last week they're just saying, nah, now they're saying more rate rises are coming, and it's just like it's got to have a limit. Like there's I know there's tax cuts coming at the end of June, which is going to help people, but fuck me, there's got to be an end date in sight for this shit.
I think a lot of this stuff happens in steps, like property, inflation, cost of living stuff. Like it's quite flat for a while, and then something triggers an event triggers the thing, and then there's a big step up, and then like it gets to the limit where like, okay, well, no one can deal with that anymore, so there's a correction based on behavior changes because of that thing, and then it has to level out for a while. So.
I think that they were talking about capping rent rises, but they haven't done it.
And then that's the last resort, is government gets involved and says, okay, there's freeze on this, so there's a freeze on that. And
All right. So
that got real.
Like, do you remember government?
It's going to be tough, but I'll be right.
I think around the GFC, when people lost faith in banks, the government had to guarantee bank deposits. I think it was a GFC when that happened.
Yeah, guaranteed bank deposits.
It's like they guarantee up to $200,000. If a bank goes out of business,
we'll pay you.
We'll cover that money for you. So
All right. This is a two-part one. So we'll sort of. What would your family say is your best quality, and what would your mates say is your best quality? So family.
Can it be the same thing?
If that's what you think.
Drinking piss, your family wouldn't say, would they?
Well, would you say that's my best quality? I reckon my family would say. I reckon my family would say my best quality is that I'll just do anything for them. Like I'd wear the burden. So when things get hard, I'll just drop everything and make sure everyone's okay, and wear the burden of things to make sure they're all okay. And I reckon my mates would say that too. I reckon my mates would just say he's there. Like when I'm doing it tough, he's there. Like that kind of thing. Like I think it's probably the same thing.
Yep. I think my family, not my daughters and that, but my sisters and that would say I'm a fucking idiot. Because I've done all crazy shit and gone and put myself out there, and I'm a bit, risky adventure kind of stuff. And I think you guys would probably just say that it's, I don't know, just leggy. I think that'll do me. Yeah. But your family's a weird one.
I don't know.
For me.
I think I'm having a moment that I realise that my family don't like me.
It's the same as your mates.
This whole thing is set up, like this whole 30 episodes, and we'll bang in with this question, and then fucking walk out. Is Aaron a practical car?
And it's full of bunny rabbits from the magician.
Fuck, I don't know.
No, I think your very logical way of looking at life is very much a positive.
Well, see, I want to say that they think I add a bit of fun to their lives,
Yeah.
but I don't actually ever remember them saying that. I remember them complaining a lot about all that shit.
They definitely would love it.
It's keeping them on their toes. Yeah. And you don't have any siblings though either, do you? So
No.
Yeah.
So I don't
That
know.
shows. I'm kidding.
Benji,
have you got
someone to
anything?
pull you into line.
I reckon my family would say I'm up for it. Like I'm pretty like to do.
Sorry.
All alone there.
That
silence was deafening. No, I mean like up for a good time to try to do some adventure things. Get out there and try new things. I think is what I'd like to do.
Yep.
And I think my friends would say I'm probably diplomatic. I can try to find the good side in everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
If like someone says, "Oh, this person's wrong me, they did this," I say, "Well, have you thought about it from this side?"
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah. All right, couple more.
Yeah, keep going.
What do we got here? Fishy B. What is the best cure for a bad day?
Skin
Should we just skip
piss.
this one? We all know what this is.
Skin full of piss. Next question.
And a BJ.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. I just went
what-
what?
straight to the.
We
Went
all-
straight to.
I think that's what we're.
Oh, I was just thinking about the booze. Best
So what was the actual question again?
I don't know.
Best cure for a bad
best
day.
cure for a bad day. Was that what it was?
I don't mind having a hit on the drums, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
or exercise actually. Like so, game of sport
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
hit on the drums is physical. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find doing this pretty therapeutic. Like,
Yeah,
like
this is
what I
good.
like about doing the potty is you
snakes?
escape life for a bit. Like I put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
I don't.
So I'm not hearing. No, you don't.
I check my messages now.
I don't hear the home issues. I don't have to think about work.
Yeah.
I just get to have a yarn and like it's just so much fun. Like it's
Yeah,
just
and the laughter
shooting the
and-
shit.
yeah.
So I think removing yourself from the reality of whatever it is that's stressful, if it's home life that's stressful or if it's work that's stressful, this is a bit of a bubble for
That's
me.
really cool. Yeah.
But a woeful way to put that is that that's what people try to use alcohol for. So like if you finish your work day and you don't have a podcast to record, you just drink a skinful and fucking try
You got
to
any
escape
remedies,
it,
Ben?
so-
I reckon this is. I answered this question a while back. I think sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just get a good hour's
Good
nap.
sleep,
You wake
yeah.
up completely. I do. I wake up completely different.
Yeah.
Especially if you had a shit day and you're not in a good mood.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard to sleep though if you're stewing
That's
over
stressful.
something.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
nap.
No, I don't nap very
I
good.
don't nap.
Oh,
I can't
really?
sleep in the day,
Oh, I love
and
that.
I'm just a crap sleeper. I can't turn my brain off. You know what I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then the next one then is
You go for another piss.
ice. He said for another drink. The next one was, have you ever questioned your own sanity?
Currently,
Currently.
Yeah, I'm questioning it right now. A lot of the time when I talk to Scoot,
I think that goes back to that one we thought where everyone was a carer around us.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had
I
a
was gonna
legit
say,
mental
I-
problem. Yeah.
That's it.
I don't think I've questioned my own sanity. I've questioned people are not telling me that I'm
You're a nutcase.
got something fucking majorly
Yeah.
wrong with me.
My
Or
actor
if
We
wife.
are telling you. I tell you every day.
you choose to employ me.
That's part of the contract with the
NDIS. Is it?
organisation. Yeah.
Are you getting an NDIS kickback for me?
He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I have the thoughts about we covered it before, but I'm the only one in this version of the universe, and you guys are all
I question
yeah.
your sanity
Just
in those
like-
times. Yeah.
pigments of my like I'm in that jar with
Yep.
the brain,
The brain,
and you're
yep.
just the dream
Yeah.
in my jar.
Yeah.
You guys, well, you don't exist, but there's some other people
Yeah.
in jars who have other fucking
People.
podcasts.
Yes. In a parallel world or something. Yeah. So if I stood up and punched you in the face, it'd just be. It's like, oh, that didn't even really happen.
Yeah.
So
And-
do you question your sanity when you have these thoughts?
Not
Because
really.
I question your sanity.
I think I'm just. I
Fuck
think I'm
it.
onto it. Like,
Yeah, couldn't be wrong. Yeah, there's no way you could be wrong.
Crazy people don't know they're crazy.
Yeah.
Spectrumy. I think you described yourself. You described yourself. Spectrumy. That's great. Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a rule like if you don't know who the freaks are in the street that you live in, then that means you're the freaks? Or something
That's why
like
I think
that?
of it every day. I'm questioning myself every day, going, it has to be me.
Yeah.
It has to be me. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Two more then?
Yep.
All right. Oh, spectrumy. What a word. Who would narrate an audiobook memoir about your life?
Morgan Freeman? I don't know.
Morgan?
Just because he narrates everything. He's got a great voice.
It'd sound great.
I would love Louis Theroux to do mine. I love his voice.
He's
I love
great.
his calming
Yeah.
influence on everything that he puts forward.
Yeah.
Like he just explains anything. Like it can be, and he tackles some pretty awful subjects.
Yeah.
But when he just does this summary explaining domestic violence, you just feel at ease when that man talks. I would
Yeah.
love him to narrate my life.
What about Nathan Fielder from
Yeah.
Nathan for
That's
You?
for you. That's a good one.
Watch it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Everyone watch it.
It's so good.
It's a great show. Yeah.
I'd probably go Rodney.
Oh, what's this? More tree roots.
No, or
Because you haven't had a root in a while.
I haven't had a read. What? Oh, you feel that skip in? Just get him and fuck him up.
you trip over a branch on the way in. How about a root? Or Guy's voice. All right, he's one that has one of the coolest voices as an actor is Sam Elliott. He never really has major roles. He's always like, I think he's in the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, and he just has the coolest voice. You'd know him if you saw him or heard him. Yeah, so Sam Elliott, he'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So who'd you go?
I think I just
Don't-
went Morgo Fremo. I don't know.
Morgo, yeah, Ben.
Or Nathan Fielder.
I'd go Peter Griffin. That'd be pretty good. Have you seen that one where he starts narrating his own life?
Yeah.
Yes. As I sit down to this disgusting meal that Lois has prepared for me, and she's like right there. It's great.
Imagine Rodney Root
I
reading a
love.
memoir.
What's his name?
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. I love some of his humor. That line in Ted.
God, he's talented though, isn't he?
Where Ted 2, where they're at the sperm bank and they tip over the shelf of samples or something, and then he's just talking to the doctor and he's trying to distract him or something.
Oh,
and
you
he
like
goes, "So, how did you get into this field? Do you just really love cum?" His humour.
So good.
Or when in the first one where they come in and
supermarket.
the hookers have done a shit on the floor in the corner, and at the last minute, like they're just talking about, oh, is that a shit? There's a shit on my floor, and he's trying to explain the shit, and then Mark Wahlberg comes in at the last morning and goes, "What's going on? Is that a shit?"
Well,
So good.
The supermarket scene.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Oh,
spraying
yeah.
the-
Yeah.
I
All right.
love his humour. It's so good.
Last one. What's an ideal weekend for you? Like if you could go with family, your mates, whatever. I looked at this the other day and I'm thinking a Fraser trip.
Yeah, I was thinking houseboat, but their Fraser's better. Yeah,
I think Fraser.
I love Fraser
could
Island.
go, yeah, just to
So good.
yeah.
So much.
I haven't
to do
been
there.
up there for ages.
Yeah,
so.
let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
lock it in now.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do a Fraser trip.
Invite any stablemates. Come
Yeah.
along. Yeah.
We'll do a live potty there. Let's
Yeah.
make that a fuckload harder.
Power.
Your power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
That'd be great.
Should we do one?
Yep. I'm
Yeah,
in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Yep. All right.
Yep.
You're in?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's do
Ben?
it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, sounds
camping.
Oh,
Not
a house.
camping. Get a house.
Get a house.
Roof over
House
my
up
head.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, house
Yeah.
up there. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, let's do it.
So it sounds like that's everyone's ideal weekend. Have you got another?
It's so good though. Like, just I've said this before, and I consistently will say, Eli Creek,
Yeah.
Lake Mackenzie, all the
Mackenzie's,
sand,
oh.
fucking Platypus Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's dolphins there, there's
It is good.
turtles, there's bloody whales.
It is
there's-
weird that it's not talked about more as the most amazing place in Australia.
It's
or-
amazing. Well, the Royals went there.
They did.
Yeah, we were in the place. Oh, it must be
I
nice,
wasn't.
but yeah, but
Must be nice.
they were in the house next to the one we were renting.
Didn't you got on
Yep,
TV? You
Scott-
ran into the
Yeah,
water.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Scott often stays next door to Royals.
Yeah, yeah, it's just nice there.
You're
Just
in
like his
Pullendale.
neighbour here with the multiple Ferraris.
Yeah, in Pullendale.
Yeah. I've got an answer. I don't want to bring down the mood because this has been quite positive. But my answer is it depends what I need at the time. Like I've had weekends away where like you just need some family time. You go and do some waterfall bushwalk with the
Springbrook.
family, and there's something like Springbrook or something like
What's
that.
it with
and it's
water?
fucking
There's always
awesome.
water, isn't there?
Water's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there might be a time where you just need a weekend away with the lads, and
Yep.
you go and just stay in some high rise overlooking the beach and just get on the piss or something like that. Or there's times where you just need a break with the misso and you go away down Melbourne or something like that.
Yeah.
Just depends what you need at the time.
Point in time. Yeah.
But
that's
there's
fair
also
point.
times where an ideal weekend, I know I just said I watched too much sport, but there's also weekends where an ideal weekend for me is I've got the house to myself and I just watch the fucking footy with
Yeah.
some beers.
Yeah.
You know what I often think about is, like, we all agree that is epic. Just going to the beach, whether it's camping or houseboat or something like that. Why are we doing that more often?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, it just it's usually by accident that happens. It's like, oh, it's someone's birthday, we better do something.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do this awesome thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying to Zach the other night, so we had a great time with his mates out at bowling and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why are we just doing that all the time?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
mean-
said, I had to do it because of your birthday. I had to do that
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
your birthday. I had to organise that
Yeah.
shit. But why aren't we more? I often think about this. I spend a lot of time thinking about this. Why are we not more active? And I may have brought this up on the podcast before. Why
Yeah.
are we not
No.
more actively
Yeah.
planning our lives and saying, okay, I want to do camping boys beach trip
I think it's the same
about
reason.
6 times a year.
Yeah.
And why don't we all chip in? Have we talked about this on the potty? We all chip in on someone. And their name has to be Annika because that's just the name that I've got in my head for this person. And it's like, it's a great business. We give her, so I employ Annika, not full time, but like she does this for everyone. Like, and I pay an amount. And it's, at the start of the year, I say, Annika, okay, I want to do 6 bloody beach boys camping
Oh, she's a
trips.
band manager.
I want to do a bloody 3 family holidays. I want to do a holiday with these people. And they just hold you accountable to that. They say, okay, the beach trip. When's the next boys' beach trip? Do you want me to book in bloody Tiwa?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
And it happens. And then it's awesome when it happens.
Yeah.
This is an enjoyment administrator. Is
Yeah.
that- yeah.
An EA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. That's it. Episode 30 done and dusted. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Happy?
We're done then,
Yeah.
I guess.
Very happy.
We're back and we're bringing it. So we will see you again in episode 31. Can't wait.